Hello, residents of Greenville. My name is James J.C. Woodley. I am running for a council position for District 5. I would like to tell you a little bit about who I am. I was born and raised in rural North Carolina. I'm about an hour and a half northeast of here, and in the county called Northampton. I graduated from the high school there and went to UNC Chapel Hill and got my bachelor's in zoology, which is the study of animals. I then proceeded to go to A&T State University to get my master's in biology, but I transferred to Old Dominion and completed my master's degree at Old Dominion in 1988. From there, I went into a PhD program at UNC Chapel Hill. The program was neurobiology, and I stayed in that program until I was offered a job by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. I did not complete my PhD requirements. However, I did get exposure to the issues that was associated with neurobiology, which has been helpful throughout my life. When I went to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, I worked on a number of issues that are pertinent to the issues that the city of Greenville is going through. I worked on water quality. I worked with states and other stakeholders addressing sewage from vessels that have installed toilets. Some of them were just recreational boats, and some of them were commercial boats. From there, I went into wetlands mitigation issues. And I think the most important piece that I would like to bring to you is that because I am black and I have a disability, and apparently my attitude about my job was such that I became the liaison between staff and management addressing diversity issues. Those diversity issues went through the gamut of color, race, of gender, of sexual orientation, of culture, and issues associated with that. And we worked on trying to ensure that whatever decisions were made associated with candidates that fit into one of those categories, that it was done fairly. So I was very pleased with that work. And the last thing that I want to mention about my career, I'm well published in environmental issues such as trash and point source discharges, but I'm also familiar with programs such as smart growth. And those are programs that cities or states help cities to develop, especially cities that are expanding, and that along with their economic expansion and their cultural and population expansions, that they bear in mind that there are environmental safeguards that should be in place to maintain the quality of life for the residents of the city. That is one of the things that I will be able to bring to the city council, smart growth mentality associated with any economic development. The last part of my career, I had polio, and I began to experience post-polio symptoms. So I had to retire early. I've been retired about 10 years now. And I moved to Greenville because Greenville had the reputation of being an up-and-coming, highly specified medical area, that they were rivaling Durham, which is Duke, and Chapel Hill, for their expertise in specific kinds of medical issues. And my post-polio was one of the issues that I wanted to bring to this area, and to make sure that I had the proper physician support to get through those issues. I'm very pleased to say that in 10 years, they had diagnosed that I would be in a wheelchair and that I probably wouldn't be as mobile as I am, but I'm not in a wheelchair, and I am physically fine. Once I got established here in Greenville, I've been here 5 years, I began to think about issues or things that I can do on a volunteer basis to sort of be a part of the development of this area. It is since I've been here the 5 years, I've seen tremendous growth, and I want to be a part of that. And also, I enjoy living in a community or an area in which there are established, really good educational institutions. And Greenville has that. It has ECU and Pitt Community College. I guess the next question I would like to address to you is, why Greenville City Council? I am an experienced government person, but I am new to the election process and the election official issues. However, while I've been here in Greenville, I work with the Pitt County government addressing strategic planning issues associated with animal control, and even more specifically addressing the animal shelter that is under the authority of Pitt County. Over the past year, well, it's not really been a year, the past 6 months, our advisory board, which is the Animal Control Advisory Board, has undertaken a strategic planning exercise, and I chair the subcommittee that addresses that particular exercise and the document that will come out of it. I'm pleased to say that we've had a lot of success in gathering the data that we need, and we have a plan that is currently being reviewed by the board. So that is, I am pleased to say that it's pretty much wrapped up, other than board approval and the comments associated with the document before the board can approve it. Some of the things that experience gave me was I was able to set up public forums, attend and participate in those forums. I was a part of the team that developed a survey for the citizens to ask them questions about animal control and animal care issues that they may have. That survey and those forums have been completed, and the data has been analyzed, and it's in the document. I became interested in Greenville City Council because I feel as though I am ready to take on the challenges that the council may offer, that I am mentally strong now, and I enjoy doing these kinds of things. And I bring a strategic planning mentality to the council. I am a person that believes in being fiscally prudent, and that's how I live my life, in budgeting and planning and understanding that every place that you put your money, then there should be a significant return. Also, the issues that I bring to the council that are associated with me personally is that I am a black, well-educated man with a disability, and those are issues that I've had to address throughout my life, and I have addressed those successfully, and I believe that I can be the role model for others that may inspire to become a person that participates in the official government of their location, whether it's the local government or the county or the state or the federal. I believe that as a citizen, I cannot complain about things that are going on without taking action. And I am in the prime position to take action because I'm retired, and I understand the teamwork and the process that has to occur in order for things to get done. I firmly believe that in order for a consensus to be gained from a group of people representing diverse communities, that you have to be a good listener, and you have to be able to empathize with what people are going through so that you can factor those issues into whatever decision that is being made. My skills that I bring to the city council position, council, if I were elected, is that I have strong written and verbal communication skills. I have experience as a team leader, and I also have experience as a team follower or team participant. I lead by example. I believe that in order to encourage people to do the job that needs to be done, that I have to be able to roll my sleeves up and get down and do it with them, or show them at least that I'm willing to do it. And I bring, again, I mentioned before, the smart growth mentality, and I'm dependable. And I guess one of the things that I didn't include was, even though I have issues with my physical mobility, my drive and determination far outweigh those. I am one of those people who loves to see things get done. I am a person that has an agenda, that when I work on a project, I look for the various stages that need to get completed. I look for the measures of success that is being done well, and that the goals are actually impacting the citizens as they should impact them. Now, the last question, and fits into the logic of this presentation, is, how shall I do the things that the council needs to get done? Well, I believe in getting information from the constituents of the district that I'll be representing. So I will be gathering information from District 5 residents. And I understand through my experience the environmental impact of development, economic development, as well as development through commercial enterprises and things of that nature. I do understand the smart growth plans that should be in place, and the pollution mitigation plans that should be in place. But I also believe that being transparent and being able to empathize with the people that you represent, as well as the people that represent others, that capacity building is a key concept that I believe we should adopt. And I want to be able to take the knowledge that I have and give it to other council members, so that we will all have we'll be starting at the same threshold, as well as seek the knowledge that the other council members may have, so that I can be brought up to speed on the issues that may be in the future of Greenville. I don't have experience addressing Greenville specific issues, because this is the first time that I've run for as an elected official in the city. However, I am confident that with the way I handle things, that I can get caught up relatively quickly and be able to vote or discuss the issues that are on hand pertinently. Some of the priorities that I pulled together associated with the city of Greenville and District 5 in particular is that neighborhood integrity, safety of people that live in neighborhoods all over the city is a prime concern of mine. There are ways to address such issues, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to, if I'm elected, to participate in discussions to address those issues. My background, my educational background, my experience with the Environmental Protection Agency, and my experience here in Pitt County with animal care has made animal care and control in Pitt County, as well as in the city of Greenville, as it affects Pitt County, as another priority I feel that I can address appropriately. I have the experience. I know the strategic plan, and I know the players that are involved in those particular issues, and I can deal with them and deal with the issue. Overall public safety is another issue that I think is pertinent, and that safety includes transportation issues. I live in an area in Greenville near Fire Tower Road that there's a lot of accidents that occur on that road. There are a lot of flooding during heavy rain periods that occur on that road and in Arlington. So I'm interested in looking at issues or ways in which we can reduce the accident rate, as well as reduce the standing water that occurs from flooding events. And oftentimes the water that comes into that particular area or on that road is waters that come from a higher elevation in what we call the watershed. So I understand watershed issues and I understand airshed issues, pollution impacts that come from neighboring cities or far upstream from where we are. But those are impacts that we still have to address, because if they reside or if they tend to stop in the city, because for whatever reasons, it impacts the citizens, and we need to be able to address that. Parking are issues that is always dear to me, and those are issues that are dear to the council. Sanitation and recreation, those are again issues that the council have addressed in the past, and those are issues that probably will come across my table when I'm elected, if I'm elected. Education and code enforcement, particularly education, I think that the environment here in Greenville is amazing. It's wonderful. There are two educational institutions that are highly regarded, that are reasonably located to get to through public transportation, and therefore citizens that want to explore their educational pursuits can easily do so here in Greenville. And those are things that we want to continue to be able to stand proudly behind, as well as create partnerships that allow us as council, as residents, to tap into that research or that knowledge that people from those particular institutions may have regarding whatever the issues are that we are addressing. Redevelopment. That is another issue that is on my list of things that are occurring and that may need some discussion on. And that redevelopment includes the construction of sidewalks that will link the entire commercial area in this particular district. Other things that could occur to reduce traffic but increase mobility of the residents is bike trails and safe bike routes. I would love to be able to ride my bike up to someplace in District 5 and just experience riding the bike there. However, right now I'm a little bit leery of getting out there on Fire Tower on a bike unless it's very, very early in the morning. So that is another issue that, if it should cross my table, I will certainly have some discussion based on what my constituents' needs are. Economic development, that is always important. Working with the Chamber of Commerce is always important. Ensuring that minorities and females have opportunity to participate in development of their own small business interests is always important. So that is something that I anticipate having to address if I'm elected, and I'm prepared to address that. This is an idea, a concept that I heard another candidate mention, and I just added to my list, was marketing this area as a retirement community. I am retired, and I relocated here particularly to continue my retirement. It has all of the amenities for someone that wants to retire, whether it is because of health reasons or just the location of Greenville. As it sits in the state of North Carolina, it is in a unique position. It's close to the beach, it's close to the state capitol. It has a lot of amenities of living in this particular area if you're retired. And then again, smart growth issues. So those are the kinds of things that I am prepared to be able to address using my background. I'm interested in homelessness here in the city. I'm interested in youth violence or potential gang-related issues. I am willing to be a part of any of the discussions that are associated with those kinds of things. One of my dreams is to develop a nonprofit that will address juvenile delinquency and the recidivism of people who go to prison or go to jail, and they just seem to be caught up in that loop. And there are a number of programs there that should be able to to cut that loop or break that loop, but they're not very successful. And I don't know what the reasons are they're not very successful, but I am interested in those kinds of issues. I don't believe that anyone is a throwaway, whether they're elderly or whether there are youth that have tendencies to get into illegal issues or things associated with crime that will put them in jail or in prison. And in closing, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you about the issues that are dear to me. I have no agenda in terms of running for city council other than I am motivated to be a part of the council. I have ideas. My life has been tested time and time, and I've managed to get through it. I am a Christian, and I believe that prayer is one of the ways that I get through issues. And I believe in the people. I believe in you. I believe that everyone has the ability to have the kind of life that they've always dreamed about. And I want to be a part of whatever it is that you need from the city of Greenville. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you today.